Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
She's all bruised and they gave me her glasses. There's blood on her glasses. She's got scrapes on her face. She's shaken up and she couldn't even talk. She didn't know where she was at first.
The daughter of a woman who died 2 days after she fell off a cot on a bus is looking to pursue legal action against the Fargo Bus Company. She contacted our whistleblower hotline to report the incident.
Agencies in Minnesota and North Dakota investigated the matter, and some have taken action. Valley News Team's Joshua Pagaro spoke to the daughter on what happened.
Yvonne Marwig was 78 years old and approaching the end of her life.
So they were having her on dialysis and that wasn't working for her treatment. So then they decided that she would end up going into hospice.
Her daughter, Maxine Lammers, says she had spent the last decade living in a retirement community in Breckenridge, Minnesota. And that's where she was going Friday, February 8th for hospice care. Lammers says her mom was transported from the Essentia Hospital in Fargo by the bus company Maxime & Company. Yet along the way, something happened.
I mean, we were thinking she'd be in hospice for a week, if not longer than this year. And it ended up being just a couple days. And I blame that on the accident of her being heavily medicated due to the injuries.
An incident report from the Wilkin County Sheriff's Office states that Marwig fell off a cot she was strapped to and left on the bus's floor for more than 14 miles from Kent to Breckenridge. The driver was the one who called 911. Lammers says her mom died 2 days later.
Here's Fridays and here's Saturday morning.
Lammers took pictures of her mom after she fell. Deputies stated in the report the cot Marwig was in was very unstable and an unsafe method for transport. They stated it was a normal cot with some type of metal extension attached to it with bungee cords and then a large thick mattress.
There needs to be somebody to oversee this to make sure that they have the proper restraints and stuff on before there should be a transport company.
The sheriff's report also says the driver couldn't produce any insurance information on the vehicle. North Dakota Human Services and the Minnesota Department of Human Services were both contacted following the incident. North Dakota Human Services says it was made aware of the event, and after a review was conducted, North Dakota Medicaid stopped using Maxime & Co. Minnesota, on the other hand, would not confirm or deny there's an investigation. We reached out to Maxime & Co. for comments, but the owner, Pedro Agostino, refused to speak about the Wilkin County Sheriff's Office reports and the decision made by North Dakota Medicaid to stop using the bus company. He also asked us why we were doing the story. He didn't respond to our follow-up calls and voicemails requesting an on-camera interview. On its website, the company says it provides comfortable travel for disabled people using a state-of-the-art vehicle.
They use the improper restraints once. What says they're not going to do it tomorrow?
Lammer says the owner never apologized for what happened to her mom, and she wants one. In Fargo, Joshua Pagaro, Valley News Live.
Lammers adds that she's seeking legal advice in possibly pursuing a civil case against Maxime & Company. If you need help uncovering fraud or corruption in your community, here's some advice. Call our Whistleblower Hotline. The phone number is on your screen, 701-237-6576. Call that number. Leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth.
A man is facing a felony charge of domestic violence after court records say he strangled a woman and said, quote, "I'm going to kill you. I've gotten away with murder before." The alleged incident happened on July 16th at an apartment complex in South Fargo. According to court records, a woman called police after she says she woke up to 37-year-old Marino Manuel Borges strangling her. Court records claim Borges then grabbed the woman's purse and took out some money orders, taking nearly $1,000 altogether. Police say Borges appeared to be intoxicated when they arrested him.
A former special education teacher charged in the rape of a student in Oklahoma was arrested in Dickinson. Authorities caught up with 43-year-old Daniel Bodine on Tuesday. Prosecutors say he repeatedly had sex with one of his students for 6 months. The girl's mother called police after finding explicit messages on her daughter's phone. Bodine's new employer at a pipeline company in Dickinson contacted police. Investigators tracked his company phone and arrested him.
More human bones turned up in Carrington, North Dakota today.
A local plumber says crews were digging, then called police to come to this site for the second time in 2 weeks. Valley News Team's Katie Opperly is here with details. Katie?
Mike, Andrea, Carrington officials are investigating the recovery of human remains found on a work site while pipeline is being laid in town. Police Chief Nathan Cruz says more bones were recovered around 1 this afternoon. At this time, they are unable to say if they are from the same set of remains found just over a week ago. On July 16th, police were called to the same area of 4th Street South in Carrington for a similar report. Human remains were dug up as plumbing companies laid sewer lines.
They look like animal bones to start with. You can't imagine that it's human bones already. So they had them piled on the sides, some femur bones and stuff. And a couple of scoops later, a head rolled down the hill and landed in the ditch. And everybody just went, holy crud.
Law enforcement and the Bureau of Criminal Investigation collected the remains from both incidents and said it appears to be from an old grave. Foul play is not suspected. The bones were sent off to Grand Forks for examination. Mike?
All right, thanks, Katie. We're awaiting results from both recoveries. We'll bring you updates as soon as they become available.
Some good news tonight about the grave that was dug up and damaged by a man last month in South Fargo. The grave site at the Sunset Memorial Gardens Cemetery belonged to son and brother Josh Nelson. The chipped headstone has been replaced by the Nelson family, and they added decorations like wind chimes, flowers, and angels. The family says they're doing okay now. They say the headstone cost over $800 to replace.
2 South Fargo neighbors are searching for answers tonight after both of their doorbell cameras caught the same man stealing almost $300 in packages off their porches. It happened yesterday afternoon in the 1400 block of 62nd Avenue South. One victim tells us he and his wife will now be sending all of their online orders to where they work, hoping they never have to deal with something like this again.
We can't have anything delivered to home now because there's always a chance it's going to get stolen. Although it may not repeat, it could.
Fargo police say it's an open investigation. So far, they do not have a suspect in the case.
Sales have ground to a halt at a Moorhead coffee shop, which is closed for renovations. A sign on the door at the Starbucks off of 8th Street by the I-94 interchange reads, "They're getting a makeover and encouraging customers to visit other locations in the area." Although this may be frustrating for some coffee lovers, others are looking forward to the improvements.
I think it will be nice, a new area to do some studying for college students or just grabbing some coffee with friends or just hanging out.
The sign on the door reads they'll be open for August, open for business by August, and they apologize for any inconvenience.
North Dakota's travel and tourism season is on track to beat last year's numbers. Last year, there were more than 1.3 million visitors at state parks and events. This year, campgrounds are seeing a spike with 30% of campers coming from out of state. The Medora musical is on track to top last year's attendance. So far, over 55,000 people have watched the musical, on pace for over 120,000 before year's end.
5 to 6 years have really been some of our best years of all time. Things go up and down, but this year's attendance is right on track, slightly ahead of last year, and those are good signs.
The musical's record year was 2015, when over 124,000 people attended.
The surf was up in West Fargo tonight as the Park District hosted a Hawaiian beach blast at Rendezvous Park. It included several family-friendly activities that you might do on a Hawaiian island. Activities like a limbo contest, kite flying, and giant lawn games. Every kiddo seems to have their favorite.
His is Bubbles, and I have a 4-year-old who liked the inflatable toys. It's fun to be a part of a community that puts on fun events for families.
Sponsors for the event included Western State Bank, Luther Family Ford, Sanford Children's Hospital, and Games to Go.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with no wait weather.
Gorgeous conditions tonight. We have an increase in cloud cover from the west as some storms that tried to form out there, throwing a few clouds our way. 76 degrees right now out at Hector. That wind still gusting to 22 miles per hour from the south-southeast, and dew points up to around 60 degrees as we get ready for bed tonight. All of us in the upper 60s or low 70s across the board. Some of the warmest weather, though, in the Northern Valley, where Cavalier and Grand Forks are in the mid-70s this hour. And the radar shows quiet conditions until we look off to our western counties in the James River Valley and Devil's Lake Basin. Take a look at this from the Cheyenne area, New Rockford, down towards Carrington. We have showers drifting to the east. It's fairly light and short-lived, and will continue to work its way off to the east and southeast as we go through the evening hours. Tonight, we were expecting more development, quite frankly, in western North Dakota. We had a blob of storms work their way into the Regina area, and now some are working into central parts of southern South Dakota. So, our forecast earlier, you may remember or recall that we had a chance of some morning showers and storms because we didn't get anything forming out west. Our chances are lower for morning showers and storms in the valley, minus the activity that's taking place right now in the James River Valley. As we rise and shine on our Thursday, temperatures will be 65 to 70 for most, with clouds making their way through, and the south wind we have now will continue through the morning hours. As we start our day, we'll quickly notice temperatures rising to around 80 degrees. Through midday, it looks quiet, and then in the afternoon, we'll have the development and a chance for some strong storm development. The best chance for storms tomorrow, southeast North Dakota into parts of central Minnesota as we go through the afternoon. Temperatures will have a chance before the storms fire, though, to reach the mid, maybe even upper 80s in a couple of locations. As we go through the early evening, these storms will continue to work their way off to the east and fairly quickly exit our viewing area. So our storm chances will be, say, from 3 in the afternoon through about 8 p.m. across our viewing area, and then it looks quiet for the remainder of the evening. And look at this, the wind speeds taper off for many of us on our Thursday night. Your planning forecast for Fargo, start the day off near 70 degrees. We'll have a few clouds out there. Shower chances, yes, we have them, but the chances are quite low. Southwest winds continue at 10 to 20 miles per hour, 85 to 87 in the afternoon. And again, from about 5 o'clock until 8 o'clock in Fargo, a chance for some storms and points south and points east. So your afternoon planner looks like temperatures in the low to mid 80s across central portions of North Dakota. The Red River Valley will have the warmth, 88 in Grand Forks, 87 for Fargo, with thunder chances moving from southeast North Dakota into Lakes Country fairly quickly during our dinner hour. Those storms could be strong to severe. Large hail, damaging wind will be the primary threats. As we go through the evening, here's the highlighted area. This may change by morning based on our forecast changes, but suffice it to say, if you see thunderstorms forming tomorrow, they could be severe. John capturing a lighted view of the bridge in Grand Forks. What a beautiful shot with the colorful sunset as well. A windy day on Friday, but dry, 84 degrees. How about the weekend, you say? Well, Hutch says it's going to be hot on Saturday, near 90 degrees. Sunday, a little bit of refreshment. It comes with a chance of some scattered showers and storms. Next week, we stay in the 80s. So 80s across the board there, with a few rain and thunder chances.
Is it looking a little bit more like the last few weeks we had a lot of rain?
Not as humid.
Okay.
And it looks like our rain chances are going to be kind of hit and miss as far as the viewing area, as opposed to the widespread things that we saw earlier.
All right, you're off the hook. Thank you.
Later on Valley News Live 10 at 10, another major retailer facing backlash today, accused of fat shaming.